Yeah, and I would love right now if I might just perhaps, I don't know, ban out Monkey King, then lead with a new hero for, I wouldn't say Arceus, but from their mid lane, and they go for Pudge.
Hmm.
Oh, I was going to propose maybe them looking for Lycan at the end of this draft, because of course, Lycan's one of the best heroes versus both Brimstroke and Silencer for, the exact same reasons we always list out, where you just get going on your own. You don't really care about their ultimates either, but they say Pudge instead. Okay, we'll have to see how this actually pans out because we'll felt kind of have time and 5ManMidas are using their opponent's ban here on the Timbersaw against them maybe a little bit, but what did Felt have cooking up here? Because now, well, they've got 3 picks to counteract this hero.
Yeah. It does make for an interesting combo, right? If it is carry Pudge with the Grimstroke at the 5, you've got the sort of Rot Inkswell play to work with, but I feel like you still have to actually hit a hook to make that happen, right? You can't just Inkswell Pudge in. That's not quite enough move speed bonus for him to do that. So we'll see what happens there. Although the Felt side now taking the Enigma for themselves. If that Enigma ends up in the offlane against the Pudge, then the Eidolons are really just going to act as a buffer to really make that hook play not impossible, but definitely hard to hit.
Yeah, and well, you picked Pudge maybe a little bit too early here because Ursa is a unmanageable matchup. That's where Pudge needs to put so much distance between himself and the Ursa in terms of net worth. And even then, once you get BKB, once you get Ags, if you don't pretty much immediately win the game and Ursa gets pretty much the exact same items then plus a Basher, game's over. You just die. Flesh Heap does not save you versus Fury Swipes. The longer you're stuck in that fight, the more damage you're going to take, and then that just might be it. Not to mention now we've got some weird stuff. It looks like it almost has to be a mid or a Pudge carry because, well, you've got Mirana Earth Spirit. That's probably going to be an offlane Mirana now for Lies. And Grimstroke Pudge does sound like an interesting lane, but again, is it going to be enough is the true question here. And you're laning versus Marcy Enigma, so a lot of your heroes are going to, or a lot of your creeps are going to get denied. The wave's going to be really far pushed back. Maybe you go for a dive, but I don't know. And again, the Ursa matchup eventually is just one. So is it going to be enough? Who knows? But hopefully, I think Argus can get an actual carry here to maybe try and stand up versus the Ursa. But I don't know if there's enough time. And I also feel like Argus is the one that usually ends up playing this Pudge on this team. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I just hope they're not completely locked in just yet here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and whether this Pudge ends up swinging anywhere else might honestly just depend on what this selection is for Felt, because they're going to be grabbing their mid laner here. 5ManMidas do have ultimate last pick, so there's a little bit of an advantage to be had. They're going to get time to make that decision because they've used all of 1 second of their reserve here. So, well, it depends on what Felt choose. At this point, though, what does Felt choose for Solji? They banned out their own Lina, so that's the hero we've seen him on the most, but we still have really multiple spirits in play here. I believe we really banned out a whole lot in the mid lane. The Invoker's still kind of kicking around too, but they're going to keep it simple. They'll take the Ember.
Yeah, and of course, you see Earth Spirit, Grimstroke, Mirana. You say, okay, there's a sounds I got to be worried about, but the rest of the lineup, not really. So yeah, feels like a pretty easy pick. And let's see, 5ManMidas, is this an immediate counter pick? Is this you perhaps trying to force this Ember Spirit into the worst possible position? Or do you just say, yeah, this is our life now. This is what we got to do. I don't know. I don't think they're going to want to put the Pudge mid versus Ember Spirit, even though I think Pudge probably wins that lane. Just ends up being a farm fest for both of them, and then Ember Spirit still kind of wins because he gets his own farm. This is where I would love 5ManMidas to just hard counter. And I don't know what exactly that hard counter necessarily would be, because I don't think that Huskar feels too great versus Ursa and Enigma. I feel like you probably could just die. And yeah, instead they just go for the Invoker. So classic counter. No more Flame Guard in this game, and we'll have to see how difficult a lane that really Solji actually has, because RRL does have to push his advantage here. He can't afford to slow down, but that's where the longer this game goes on, of course, you've got an Enigma, you've got an Ursa, the enemy team only has a Pudge. It's no Luna, it's no TB, it's no farm until you win, and then you get Alacrity'd. It's where you get Ags, you get BKB, and then you're either able to kill the Ursa, or you're not, and then the game almost ends right then and there. But again, we'll have to see. And even though we do have the Enigma, I do think we're going to have, again, a little more of that Brawly type Dota. It's just simply the heroes that we have on deck here. There's so much damage potential across the board. I feel like we're going to see a good few amount of fights.
Yeah, I mean, these lineups do look like they're going to be not exactly backing down from some of those early skirmishes, which, you know, is nice for us. We get some stuff to talk about here, and we get another chance to see the offlane Bounty Hunter hasn't really worked out. The offlane Mirana is the other one that Lies has been playing pretty frequently. Of course, with the team now 0-15, you can kind of take a guess at how those previous attempts at offlane Mirana went, but this time you got the Earth Spirit in your lane, so feels like this offlane duo might be slightly better set up than any of the previous ones, but I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be able to bully Paradise. I think it has to be all focus onto the Silencer instead.
Yeah, and we'll have to see because the one nice thing about Core Mirana is that you are very obnoxious, and especially laning versus a melee carry. There's a lot of damage that you can do just while the Ursa tries to run at you. And of course, if any arrow connects, then there could be kill potential. Because of course, you roll in on the arrow, you kick him back even further. It's more right clicks that you just end up eating. So I definitely think this is the most potential they've had in their lane so far. Think Tusk was the other hero that they've run with it before, which also felt pretty good. But
Hmm.
again, we'll have to see, and they kind of have to connect here because anything that's going to make this Ursa play just a little bit slower is going to be almost invaluable at this point. Even though you do have to deal with the annoying aspects that is Arcane Curse, hopefully that lane is not just going to be a free one for the Ursa, who we'll have to see. Probably just going to get the Battle Fury, but whether or not that Ring of Health comes out too early, that's always the big question. But yeah, a lot of questions here for both these teams, but they'll definitely have, I think, the more solid lineup if things do start to slow down heavily.
Hmm. In the meantime, a little bit of a showdown in the middle lane. They're just going to high-five each other and go their separate ways, but both teams are trying to get a little bit of vision down. The ward did get placed on the 5ManMidas side. Now we see the sentry preemptively deployed as well, but Bell didn't actually put anything down here, so the D ward isn't going to do a whole lot of good. Their first ward goes up here on the ice spot here on the high ground, so not quite as useful for the lane itself, but it gives them a lot of vision over this river if anybody tries to rotate in.
And now, well,
Okay.
everybody looking to take a little bit of a skirmish here. Of course, there is an arrow that is a very large threat, but there you go, Moonlight. Not skilling up a spell, which means the Inkswell will miss, but looks like everybody walks away, take a little bit of damage from the EMP, but really nothing hit there. Interesting.
Yeah, just Inkswell misses, EMP misses. They get 3 of the 4 bounty runes, though, so that little dance in the river, the distraction that they made, does net them a slight edge in this laning stage, but yeah, with that many heroes mid, you kind of thought that would turn into something, but it's a whole lot of saber rattling and smoke and mirrors, but no actual fight. Although Solji, does he dodge this? Yes, he does. Slide of fist, good spell. No EMP today.
Yeah, no, and kind of difficult timing, honestly, but if you have enough creeps alive, then it does get more and more marginally easier. But yeah, and I think a large part why it does amount to nothing is just Moonlight having a little bit of hesitancy to just skill up the Rolling Boulder level 1, just in case he would have to secure ranged creep blast hits with the Boulder Smash, depending on if the Silencer or the Ursa was just looking to tank those, but ends up getting the Rolling Boulder anyway. So again, not the most exciting start to this game, but we'll have to see, especially level 2 here for the top lane. Might have some kill potential, but it really is just whether or not the positioning of the Ursa, I think, messes up here, as they do kind of try to gun for him, but it doesn't pan out. But again, the harass from the Ramana is very, very obnoxious. Liza's just going to look to trade and trade and trade and trade, and can't really do anything about that.
And with the ward that they put down here on the 5-man side, I mean, he misses the first one, but Moonlight's going to have so much vision to work with. Yeah, he's going to just keep on trying, as they are going to get in onto the Silencer. However, Paradise pushed forward with Yorshak at the same time, so Lies had to just get himself away from the bear, which means he wasn't in position to throw the arrow out preemptively.
Yeah, and it's where once he has
Oh,
that slow, it might be slightly easier to connect. But yeah, there we go. Arrow does land, but not first blood. because Argus got it.
It was a little goofy. They did get that sort of ink swell hook play going. The Warden still rebounds away, but he was still apparently taking the DOT, so he dies at the end of the rebound jump. So it didn't look normal, but hey, it's first blood to Argus, and the second kill also going to 5ManMidas.
No, yeah, success found in both lanes as well.
Problem.
Respawns, comes right back after the Malefice. They actually got slowed a little bit too much, but okay, still found the dispose.
He's gonna try to stun Argus. I don't know if he can even really do this. He could turn around for a hook, but it wouldn't kill either of them. He's just gonna try and maybe deny to the tower. Yeah. So Argus goes down. Moonlight falls in the top lane though, so just like that, Felt kind of get those 2 kills back. Hold up, maybe 3? Yeah, feeling. Not able to run away. Not quite showing that full respect as he gets locked down, pulled back, and well, they give up the first 2, but then they get 3 kills in a row on that side of Felt, and the Warden thought for a moment he was going to try and go in again, but he doesn't have any spells. He does have spells now, though. There's the Dispose. They got the Malefice onto Argus. He's going to try for the hook, and he hits onto the Warden. The problem is, without his teammate here, they can't really follow it up, but now, Feeling coming in, Inkswell on him. Warden gets stunned. Inkswell's there. Does Argus have a hook? Not for 9, so Feeling is just kind of stuck here, and he's dead.
Yeah, that Urn, as well as just running himself into 4 or 5 Eidolons. And now Argus, well, that's Flesh Heap. There's no mana on the Warden, though, so won't amount to a follow-up play, but not like you can really do anything here. And you're trapped, and the Warden's looking for you, and they might just look to connect here. Again, no mana, doesn't have any spells, but just trying to juke and jive around.
Man.
On the Courier, even.
Courier's just gonna die to tower. That's a little awkward. Argus goes for the hook onto Fade. Can he actually get this kill? Malefice is stunning him up a bit. He's got the DOT on him, and with the Dispose, he does end up going down. So he tries for a sneaky play. Not gonna make it happen. That's another kill down bot here for Felt. Do want to take it all the way back to like now a minute and a half ago, because Paradise did die in the top lane while all of that was going down. So your 5ManMidas, your dancing down bot may not have worked out great, but at least they got some pressure onto the Ursa. And now Moonlight, I don't know if he can get this kill, at least not by himself, but with a tornado missing, this is getting very awkward. Solji is doing a lot more in terms of fighting out this one as he should, as he does pop the Fairy Fire, still keeping him alive. Now they have to dive the tower, but they don't really have the health for this. Boulder Smash comes in. It's still not enough. The Searing Chains locking Moonlight down, but he'll finally find the kill. I think the Marcy might be able to... Actually, no, he's going to lose the creep here for the rebound play, so... Oh, Moonlight gets a... No, he doesn't. Okay. Thought for a moment he was going to get away with it, but the Warden just would not give up.
It just showed for a second there, and then, yeah, gets punished. Can't afford to do this as well, just leaves Fate alone, because he knows that the Enigma should be relatively fine, but they will join up, and they'll also see the Warden returning back bottom, so Invoker won't have to play scared or anything, but yeah, funny stuff. I can't believe Solji almost killed the Earth Spirit with just him hiding in the night, but yeah, again,
they got through the guard pretty quickly. This is a much more organized attempt on his life, although the results are actually worse already. Moonlight goes down. Ooh. Lucky RRL.
Lucky.
Very, very lucky. And yeah, RL says, my bad. Oh, Solji. He's got reinforcements coming. The Silencer's here. They hit him up with a curse. They get the last word on him. He's going to try for the Tornado, but that just drops him low enough for Solji to finish the job. And while that happened, Argus gets caught out. The Warden did make his way down bot. They saw his return, but apparently they still weren't ready for it. Yeah, they're going to lose both heroes down here. Wow.
Yeah, and now you're in this super awkward position versus Enigma, where if you TP back to this lane, Fade's going to be level 6, and he's going to have Black Hole, so do you really want to put yourself in that position? But the issue being, if you do put yourself in that spot, well, you are very possibly just going to die. It's not like you really want to kick out your mana either, but it still just feels unfortunate as Moonlight, he's taking some damage in the top lane. Probably going to die to the Ursa, even though Wise might get the trade, but they actually kill Fade. Pretty nice.
Take Fade down. Lies now going to get rooted up by the Searing Chains. They turn around for the kill, and now the fight is actually still going down bot. The Warden was trying to get some sort of return kill here for his teammate with the Eidolons, and they do get it. Feeling goes down, but In that instance, I don't know, because the Warden gives up a little bit of a streak, so Feeling does get more money, and it's a bit of an awkward exchange. I suppose at the end of the day, though, Fade did not use Black Hole there, so he does still have that, and it's something 5ManMidas are going to have to show a lot of respect to moving forward, because sure, you were able to get some kills in that bottom lane, but if Black Hole gets deployed on you, if you get caught out by it, there's just nothing this duo can do. Although with Moonlight down here, maybe he's got to pick his timing pretty damn well, though, and they would need a clear shot for Arceus as well, which they're really not getting right now, but they're going to try for it anyway. Arceus is level 6, so he has the Dismember. Well, he can't really get the Dismember off because the Malefice is just going to keep on stunning him, so he does hold fire, but now Belt have 3 heroes in this bottom lane as well. The Silencer has come in. The hook, though, does still connect. They get the Dismember down. Silencer is not 6, so he doesn't have the global. That is a hell of a shot out there from Arceus. Feeling may end up dying for this, though, but I don't know if you really care. Although if you lose Moonlight, too, that is a little more costly for them, but the Moonlight Shadow comes in. They're going to turn this around. They get the Rolling Boulder onto the Silencer. Should be able to take him down, but Solji is going to make his presence felt in this fight, too. Do they have vision? Yes, they do. Fade time for Moonlight. Not enough. Arceus pulled back into the Sentry Ward's radius, but now the Invoker is going to join the fight. Tornado EMP doesn't hit entirely, but it buys enough time for the Dismember. So Arceus is still fighting. Solji dropping low. Grimstroke coming into the fight as well for the silence, so the Ember can't jump away, but there's the Black Hole catching out all of them. Arceus goes down first. Feeling's going to fall, and RRL, the Malefice is on him. He was able to get one last right-click out there to find the kill onto Solji, but he will die. And everyone other than Paradise basically came down here, ET.
Yeah, Paradise and Lions just keep anchoring down in their lanes, but
oh my god.
Yeah, no, very good, and again, a very nice slight dodge to just keep his mana pool a little bit higher, and also very nice from RL not getting too panicked and actually making sure he doesn't cancel any of his auto attacks on the Ember Spirit. Otherwise, he does just survive there on a sliver of HP, and another great hook, but here comes the rest of the lineup, and without Magnetize, I don't think they have enough damage to do this.
Fade's gonna walk away, Moonlight's gonna die. They did not know Solji was there until it's too late. I don't even think they saw the Warden in the tree line there either, so they just kind of marched straight into their own death. Now they're gonna lose this tower. I think that's actually the first tower that's gonna go down here, so we've got 29 kills before a tier 1 falls, but they will get it.
Yeah, not the pace you see every day of the week, but I think 5ManMidas have at the very least some more tools to actually combat some of this aggression, but we'll have to see, and especially seeing where the Mirana actually decides to play. I think Lies probably has his Falcon Blade now. It's got a good bit of levels as well, so magic damage-wise, you know, they're kind of peaking up. They do have to deal with Global Silence still, which is very obnoxious, but aside from that, I feel like we could see maybe them making another response pretty soon here. I feel like really they should just bring the Invoker towards that top lane and then start chipping away at this tower with the cart, but we'll see how they play. But mid, Silencer, gonna get taken down.
Pretty easy kill there, as they do find the kill. Silencer goes for the D-Ward as he's dying, so at least he's still playing that support game, but the Warden then rebounds in. They're going to catch out Feeling, turn it into a 1-for-1, but now the Warden's stuck on the high ground. Arceus is going to hit him up with a Dismember. The Searing Chains actually not available yet, so they've just got to do this with the damage. Fade is trying to get involved here, but he just doesn't have Black Hole still, so he's only just dishing out the occasional right click, but Solji is just going to push forward with the Flame Guard and takes the Pudge down. They want to go for more, though. They've got the Curse now onto RRL. The Last Word's going to hit him up as well. Malefice comes through, and Solji picks up the double, and I think they did see Feeling here for a moment, so they know he's still in the area. They're going to track him down as well.
Oh, this DD rune. DD rune plus the Lance of Pursuit. Just cannot escape the Ember Spirit. It's way too obnoxious. And then top lane, oh, they just barely have enough damage to get Lies in one go there with Warden's ulti, so just kills across the map. Kills that 5ManMidas are not getting. They're still playing very reactively. Not really finding their own initiative in this game, which is becoming more and more problematic. It's good, though.
Good roll.
Maybe kickback.
Magnetize. Oh, he's just taking too much damage, though. Wow. Hook does come in, though, so the Silencer gets pulled back. Arceus turns it into a 1-for-1, but RRL would like more. He's got the Cold Snap in. The Tornado's going to be there. Arceus gets the kill, but now they got to deal with Solji, and the TPN from Paradise as well. He just got disarmed by that Deafening Blast, though, so he wasn't able to do immediate damage. but they're still chasing. Or maybe they're not. Feelings coming up. Ice Wall was dropped, so they will back it away. Or maybe they won't. Those Searing Chains do hit. Warden's going to go in with the rebound, and he's just got so much range on that initiation. And now, well, Moonlight is thinking about it. He had the Ink Swell on him, but I think they know. Yeah, they definitely know now that Solji's still in the area, so can't really afford to fight that any longer.
Yeah, and, well, defended for now. Can only imagine they're going to keep on running at each other, though. But Fade is actually set up top looking for a kill, but...
Malefice onto Lies. Hit him with the Spirit Vessel. Here comes Paradise looking for the cutoff angle. Only one charge left on the leap, but he gets it over the gap, and he is going to live. Nicely done there with the jump away, but Lies... I feel like he needs to start getting a little bit involved here. He's been just farming it out in the top lane, and I don't know, he's got Falcon Blade, right? He's working his way towards a Maelstrom, but his teammates are going to start to need him, both for damage and for lockdown, as that arrow doesn't quite hit. Tower is going to be denied, but it does still go down, ET, so that Southside jungle is very much exposed here. But at this point, with 40 kills in 13 minutes, it doesn't really seem like anybody cares about farming space. They're all just fighting each other.
Yeah, no, the battle just keeps on ensuing, and there is a smoke up, but I still think this is where 5ManMidas, it might just be time to plop the lineup towards that top lane and then just open up the map a little bit further here, because without that tower gone, the Ursa can just farm with absolute safety, and the smoke does pop here. But RRL, what do you think? No,
oh, just a little too far forward. The Warden needed that angle. Fade was just sitting there waiting, and the rebound connects. RRL will fall. Yeah, ET, as you keep saying, for 5ManMidas, it might just be time to focus up on really anything, because this is not working right now. As Roche, well, it's going to go down. This is an Ursa lineup after all, so there is Roshan for free. Solji will grab it. And there's a couple of heroes up top looking for Moonlight, but he's already TPing himself away, so they do manage to get him out of here. They're grouped up like they wanted to smoke, but they don't actually do it.
Will you commit and hold
You
hands
know,
with
There it
me?
is.
Yeah, just got level 6 on feeling, so you actually have that soulbind now. But we'll have to see where they look to connect. They did just see the Ursa TP down bottom and then push in that wave, so this is a mistake from Paradise, and he should go down here.
Silence, slow. The global silence will be used, though, so Paradise is going to make a break for it. Here come the TPs in as well. They're going to try and defend him. Roll forward from Moonlight, though, into the hook. They've actually still caught him, but with the Warden going to get in there with the rebound. Not enough to save his teammate, but they've got multiple heroes locked in place. Soulbind comes in, double silence deployed. Tornado hitting onto 3 as well. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to matter. Argius should still fall here. Meanwhile, Fade locks down Moonlight with that black hole, so they will find that kill too, and you got Paradise. It's not a bad play from 5ManMidas. They just couldn't do it fast enough. The global silence really kind of breaks it up, and Solji... Oh, he didn't have the Searing Chains there, I don't think, so... Either that or... No, it missed. It just hit onto the creep, so... Lies is able to get away, but 5ManMidas still can't really find any momentum, ET.
Yeah.
That's,
still level 1 root.
yeah.
Warden's gonna try to pull him in, and yeah.
Rebound, dispose, pop to the unleash as well, so he's just smacking heroes around, and Moonlight very wisely decides he doesn't actually want to be there. Meanwhile, Feeling up top, well, just trying to push out the lane, do anything, find some farm for himself, but it's a very angry bear tracking him down.
Yeah, and, well, now you've got all of these lane wards looking for heroes running out. The lane wards that we'll have to see if they do eventually get diswarded here, but also where Argius closing in on the Aghanim Scepter, so about 1,400 gold away, something to perhaps play for, but that's where there's no Midas on the Invoker, there's no Boots of Travel, you're kind of banking on winning some of these team fights that the Felt are looking at, but where there's still an Aegis, there's going to be Black Hole in minute and 10 seconds here, so this would be their opening if they really would look for any, but Enigma with the Spirit Vessel, he's just so obnoxious. They're bringing in the Invoker though, and Argus, he has Eat, but he's going to get silenced once he casts it.
Solji did get silenced up though, so they're going to try and just turn onto him as fast as they can actually do so though. They're not killing him off. He's going to get stunned, but he's still not dead. Even disarmed, but no one is hitting him anymore. Lies is going to try, and he does manage to make it happen, but Oh, that's still only the Aegis that they take down. Moonlight, meanwhile, didn't actually get the roll all the way into the base. He rolls right up to the wall. He is going to give it a second chance, but with the Vessel, does he make it to the fountain in time? Yes, he does. 21 HP. So he will live. His teammate, though, not so fortunate. Lies caught out. Double kill for Solji, and, well, I guess they got the Aegis out of his hands, but they were hoping to kill him right at the start of the fight. Instead, he survives till basically the very end.
Yeah, just kept on getting, again, so many spells off, and then not getting his mana drained by the EMP. He just somehow keeps on dodging it, just making sure that he doesn't die for so long, and then the fight drags out, and a fight like that you win without Black Hole, with just your Enigma playing on the outside edge, it's becoming more and more of an issue. And again, there is still that item timing on the Pudge that you might look to play for if you're 5-Man Midas, but that's where Felt don't really care. They are just farming up. Paradise even finds the time to buy Boots of Travel on Ursa, which probably doesn't even feel that nice, because I feel like both other boots actually do help you farm quite a bit faster, but I guess he's going to be able to get onto the lanes, and now finally they get this top tower, but it just feels a little bit slow here. Blink Dagger on the Ursa as well, so Paradise can start and get into his own fights if he wants to.
Yeah, so he's got Boots of Travel and a Blink Dagger. That's just an unprecedented amount of maneuverability, and that's always the problem we talk about with Ursa, right? He can do a lot of damage, but he has to get onto a target and stay on that target, but I don't really think they have to be worried about that in this scenario, as Felt did TP a couple heroes top. It's Solji and the Silencer for the time being. Rest of the lineup is not really in position, so this could be an opening. 5-Man-Midas can get the initiation. Argus tries to thread the needle, not going to be able to do so, but now there's that Rod of Atos coming out from the Silencer. Argus in trouble, going to get silenced up. Moonlight has to roll in defensively, and he does do the job. He's able to get his teammate out of there safely. He drops some Magnetize as well, but he is going to die to some DOT, and now the fight begins. Solji pushing his way forward. Deafening Blast, though, did disarm him, but Fade's able to connect with Black Hole, getting up onto two. They've got both RRL and Argus. I don't think they knew, though, that they hit Argus, because he was on the other side of the tree line, but once they realize he's here, they quickly take him out as well. There's your GG. 5-Man-Midas, unfortunately, have completed the 0-16 run.
Yeah, don't even get to see the Pudge Ags, man. Like, ugh. But, yeah, 14-41. They just got beaten down in every single scenario that could have possibly imagined. The Mirana didn't work out. Wise refused to leave his lane. They just weren't playing up to snuff in the meta, and maybe when you're playing versus some of those SA squads, you can just say, okay, they're just simply better than us. It's a lot more difficult for us to try when we know that we're gonna lose because we've scrimmed or played before. But then it's like, what's going on here? There's not a lot of serious play going on. There's not a lot of things happening either. And I mean, you know, all you had to do was not play to lose it, and I think a lot of those games, and then maybe they look better. And for a second there, in the middle of their lineup and a little bit of their gameplay, maybe they're able to make the turnaround. I think there was some kind of breaking point though, like 9 or 10 games in where they lost, where they're just like, yeah, it's not happening. Sorry, we're just gonna G next tournament at this point. But Felt, hey, 2-0, get the leg up over No Runes. Not a bad look for them, and maybe get a little bit of agency, because as we always talk about with Felt, the Warden is still on fire. And if the Warden can continue playing like this coming into that playoff stage, again, best of threes are a complete different beast, a beast that some of these teams might not be prepared for. So we'll have to take a close look at this team whenever those games are played. But for now, bye 5-Man-Midas. See you next DPC.
Yeah, it's not a great way to go out, but we kind of knew that this was coming at a certain point. So 5-Man-Midas 0-16, they will finish in last place. Felt solid end, right, to this. I mean, you're going up against the worst team in the standing, so you were expected to 2-0, but they come out, they execute well, they draft solidly, they have those 2 extra points, and depending on how things go in our final matchup today between Ravens and No Runes, maybe there's the 7 seed instead of the 8 seed, and I don't really know how that impacts who they actually play at, because those other positions aren't known, but at least Felt now have some confidence moving into that playoff bracket. But we are going to really bring this first series to a close. Got done pretty quickly, actually. So we are going to be moving on to that second series. This one has a little bit more potential impact as we are going to be checking out Dog Champ versus Wolf Team. And ET, in that series, there's all sorts of scenarios at play here. Wolf Team could end up upper bracket or lower bracket. They could finish anywhere, I think, between 3 and like 6 in the standings. Meanwhile, for Dog Champ, I will have to confirm this during the break because we were doing the math before we got on broadcast today, and I think even if they 2-0, they might still be lower bracket because of the Neustadel score. I still can't say that right, but yeah, we're going to confirm whether or not that's actually the case. But either way, that next series should prove to be pretty interesting.
And we'll have to see because, yeah, I think with the way it stands, if Dog Champ 2-0, Wolf Team is guaranteed lower, then Dog Champ is also maybe guaranteed lower because the cut 2-0'd them before and they won 1-5, right? So everything gets complicated, yeah. Where for Wolf Team, they do a 1-1 split, then it's Dog Champ that goes lower, and we'll talk about it after the break.
Right, yeah, we got to confirm that math before we say too much. So that is going to be the next series up. Will be Dog Champ versus Wolf Team. So we're going to be stepping away for just a little bit, and we'll be back for the start of that best of 2.